Hello, this is Dr. John Pepper, and I want to thank you for tuning in to our monthly video and our e-newsletter. And with this month being Mother's Day, I wanted to focus on women's health, and more specifically, the busters and boosters to women's health. So today what we're going to focus on are the busters. Whenever we look at women's health, we always are going to think about hormone balance. And when we're looking at the hormonal system, it's important to understand that when you affect any hormone in the body, it affects all the other hormones. It's kind of like a spider web. When you pull on one strand, it's going to affect all the other strands. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. Our first health buster is your cosmetics and hygiene products. And this is basically anything that you put on your body. It can go from your soap to your shampoo to lotions to makeup. And it's important to know that there's a lot of chemicals in these products that can either mimic or disrupt your hormone production. So one of the best ways I've found to check our products to see if they're safe to use is to go on a website with the Environmental Working Group. And we'll include the link here, but you can type in your products you're using and see if they're a risk for you. And if they are, then you can get some other suggestions on alternative uses. The next buster we're going to look at are your household cleaning products. And again, there's some very abrasive chemicals in these products, some of these that we're using on a regular basis, that can disrupt your hormone balance and also affect your liver. So it's very important to know if these products are safe to use or if they're endangering your health. And again, you can go on the website with the Environmental Working Group to find out what products you're using, if they're healthy or not for you. The next thing I want to look at is getting more into your diet. And for so many years, fat has been vilified or demonized as a bad thing to have in your diet. And many people go on a low-fat or no-fat diet, or they're eating a lot of trans fats. And it's important to understand that for hormone production to take place, you have to have healthy oils and fats in your diet, because that's what these hormones are built from. They're also built from cholesterol, so having healthy cholesterol levels is very important. So very important to make sure you're getting plenty of good fats and oils in your diet. And another point on here to understand is that eating fat does not make you fat. It does not put your body into fat storage mode. And what we're going to talk about next will explain what does, and that's sugar. When we look at sugar consumption, just in the last 100 years, we've gone to consuming 3 to 5 pounds a year to over 150 pounds a year for the average American. And this is just ridiculous. And it's leading to many different health problems. And as far as how this affects female hormone balance, is that when you consume sugar, it increases insulin production. And this increased insulin obviously can lead to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, but also it increases your androgen production, which is a type of hormone such as testosterone. And this can set the stage for PCOS, or polycystic ovarian syndrome. So very important to reduce or eliminate sugar from your diet. And also, don't replace it with artificial sweeteners. These are very disruptive to your brain. There's plenty of research out there that shows that people that do use artificial sweeteners on average end up gaining more weight than people who don't. So this is an area you want to stay away from. A good alternative natural sweetener that we like to recommend and we use ourselves is stevia. So number 5 on the list is a big one, and it's stress. And stress can affect every system in your body. And even the CDC has come out and said that 80% of all diseases have an emotional link to them or emotional cause to them. So very important to address stress. We probably mention this in just about every talk that we do, the importance of stress reduction. And for any of you women that have a monthly cycle that have been under a lot of stress, you know how stress affects your monthly cycle. So right there you understand how this cascade of hormones can be affected by stress. If you are suffering from hormonal imbalances, or say you're suffering from a lot of menopausal symptoms, or you've been under a lot of stress, one thing that I always recommend is to get your adrenals checked out. Because if you have adrenal fatigue or adrenal exhaustion setting in, you can't fix your hormone imbalances until you address the adrenals. So the last one on the list that we have is obesity. And again, this is a growing problem in our country. But what we know is that your fat cells, we used to just think of as storage cells, but they're actually considered part of the endocrine or hormonal system now, because we know that they produce different hormones, and one of those hormones is estrogen that they produce. So we know that whenever a woman is overweight or obese, that she is estrogen dominant. And whenever you're estrogen dominant, it's going to set the stage for many different health issues, but one of the more serious ones is cancer, breast cancer and uterine cancer. So I hope that these tips are very helpful for you. We'll be releasing our part 2 on this with all the female health boosters soon, so stay informed on this. I want you to be happy, be healthy, and be well.